What up, what up, what up, what up? It helps if I add us back to the screen. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Wheelhouse here on the AAT Sports Network, which stands for All Authentic Talk. I am Chip at Chip for the Birds and Umpire Stories, joined as always by my boy from South Carolina, JD at D2M Pods and KKs _TM. Hey, buddy. Happy holiday.
Happy Labor Day.
JD, I see that when we do things when the sun is out, your shade blockers come on. Do you want to talk about why your shade blockers are on there, buddy?
I'm doing this for my man Dion, aka Coach Prime, man. Like a dominant performance. Like they didn't believe in him. They don't believe in him. But guess what? God did. And so that's what we at. So I'm gonna keep the shades on for as long as possible during this show because I want y'all to know that they coming. They've been saying they coming. They coming.
We taking over.
One city at a time. I told you was gonna say it. You didn't say it the way you said it in the green room, but
I did not say it the way I said it in the green room because I really enjoy having a show, and so that's that. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We got some topics, some shenanigans. For those of you who have never seen the show, we have a wheel. It's got topics. We talk about the topics. We respond to your comments, and that's kind of how we do stuff.
Facts. I'm gonna take these glasses off because I feel like an idiot. But
wow, that lasted 2.5 minutes.
That's only 2 minutes of screen time, but I've had them on for hours at this point. I took a shower with them on last night. What up? What up, Adam?
Adam checking in. What they do?
What they do, Cuzzo? Let's go.
I was about to do something, and now I forget what it was. Hold on.
You're always trying to do something extra.
No, I'm trying to build up our shenanigan window. I got some great shenanigans.
What we need to do is we need to have people. That's what I'm talking about. Do you want to just talk about it since everybody's already talking about it.
Talking about what?
You see what
we going? It's on the wheel. It's on the wheel.
We gotta hurry up. We got some.
It's on the wheel. All right, here we go. So here's the wheel.
Next week we're gonna have people send us shenanigans to do on the air.
Deal. I am here for that. So our first topic. Oh, right away. Okay. Woo!
Very spicy there.
Should they be Hall of Famers?
All right, let's do it.
So one of my favorite parts of the show is a game called Should They Be Hall of Famers? I give JD some statistics, and he lets me know should they be Hall of Famers. Some of them are already Hall of Famers.
Facts, but it's always good to assume that they aren't.
Okay. So, first one is a basketball player.
Easy day.
Easy day. This player is still an active basketball player.
Okay.
Okay, so he clearly cannot be in the Hall of Fame as of yet.
Right, but when he gets done, will he be?
Correct.
Barring anything major happening.
This player has been in the NBA for 14 years.
Okay.
Okay. He averages 13.2 points per game.
For 14 years. Okay.
But 12.7 rebounds per game.
It's got to be somebody like Rudy Gobert or somebody. Udonis Haslam, maybe? No, I'm lying. Do I think they should be? I think they should. Yeah, they should make because that's a double they average. So yeah, they average a double. So I'm with it. Yeah.
This player averages a double.
Yeah. Why not?
Has 10,000 career points.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
And 9,900 career rebounds.
Who is that?
3-point percentage for the career, 15 out of 117.
You got my man Kenneth checking in. What up, Kenneth?
Kenneth, what it do? We're playing right away. Should they be Hall of Famers? You said this player averages a double, so the answer is yes. Do you want some of their things that this player has done?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay.
Who is it?
Andre Drummond.
Actually, believe it or not, Andre Drummond probably will make the Hall of Fame.
And so this came out. So this week he came flat out and was like, I should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he should be. I mean, because he had some crap years at Detroit, man. Like a lot of his bulk of his ball playing was in Detroit, so he didn't have the best fan base. He didn't get the most airtime. Like it's like almost like penalizing Cat for playing with Minnesota for all those years. Like do you want the guys to just jump ship to go where they can get recognition, or do you want them to stick with the city that drafted them? And I'm kind of in the mindset with Andre Drummond. Like he didn't leave until the very end, and now he's been a bit of a journeyman the last couple of years, but before that, he was with Detroit for a majority of those years.
For 8 of them, yeah. And Andre Drummond is a dominant basketball player for the dirty stuff that you don't want to have to make your pretty players do. But he's good for a double-double. Like, that's why when the Sixers picked him up a couple years ago, I was all about it because he was a great backup to a Joel Embiid.
I'm with it. I say Andre Drummond definitely deserves it. I mean, a lot of people, it's probably like an unpopular opinion just because he's not the flashy guy, but Bill Lambier's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm pretty sure Dennis Rodman and other guys that have through the years, done the dirty work, kind of been, nasty. So at the end of the day, there's a spot for him.
Okay. Well, we're going to play a second round now. Another basketball player, another current player. Okay. He's in his 11th year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Averages include 19.6 points per game.
19.6 points a game.
Averages just under 2 steals a game, 3 assists per game, 6.5 rebounds per game.
And it's 19 points for his career?
Averages 19.6 for the career.
How many years?
He is going into his 11th year or 12th year. Does have some hardware if you want to hear about it.
Yeah, give me the hardware.
Okay, so the hardware is 5-time All-Star.
Okay.
Steal champ. 2-time NBA champ.
Is it Rajon Rondo?
It is not Rajon Rondo.
2-time champ. I'd say yeah. Because he got the championships and he's got some steal, and he's been the best at something. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have to be the best at something like defensive player of the year, stuff like that, like accolades like that kind of give it to you. Then he got the championships and his average is about 19. Who is it?
Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Definitely Kawhi. I'm glad.
But again, so I like to do this, especially I'm a teacher, so I like to play games like this when it comes to like an election year. I'll pull names off of the people and what they stand for and all that stuff, and then I'll ask my students, hey, these are the 2 candidates, candidate A, candidate B. Would you vote for them? And usually they vote for the person that doesn't end up winning. Like a couple years ago, I had a bunch of students. Again, I teach in an urban community. I had a bunch of students say that they would not vote for Barack Obama. And then I did the big reveal, and they went, oh, no, we're voting for Barack. I said, but wait a second. I gave you 10 things that he believes. You don't agree on any of them. Why are you voting? And they go, because he looks like me. And I went, say less, understood. So I think a lot of the time us pulling the names off of some of these people is important because you just put Andre Drummond in the Hall of Fame.
I'm with that. I'm okay with it. I would have put him in no matter what, though. Face or no face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they should do that. I think that from now on, when they do presidency, like they should be behind like the mystery date. Like, you gotta tell me what
behind
you
door number 1. I plan to raise your taxes.
Oh, okay.
Number
F
2.
You guy. Get out of here.
So,
but if he does the finger thing, I think I'm okay with it.
I said I will not have. Wait, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. We got to be a little bit cleaner than we usually are. Merca.
Okay. Listen, as long as we don't start a problem out here in the streets.
Like, yeah, we know we start the problem. That's what we do.
And this can't get canceled on a Tuesday.
This can't get canceled on a comeuppance on a Monday.
Yeah, I can't get canceled on Tuesday because Tuesday will be the day they cancel us because Monday's a holiday. They don't have to cancel on holidays.
No, you missed it. All right, NFL Week 1. Finally, we are in the first week of the NFL season.
Yes. Looking
at the games, is there any that has jumped out to you as being like a great first game?
I think it's the Jets. The Jets play somebody. Maybe they play the Bills.
The Jets play the Bills.
Yeah, I think that's the game I was looking at. That would be, if I had to make a guess, like that's the game that everybody's going to be watching because you got the marquee quarterback. So people really want to see what Aaron Rodgers has, to be honest. Like, I know what I'm going to get from Josh Allen. Some spectacular plays. Like, he's going to do some stuff that extend some plays.
Sure.
But I'm really interested to see what they have done with Aaron Rodgers and the pieces they put around him. He's still got Garrett Wilson. He's got some dudes around him. So I want to see if Aaron Rodgers still has any in the tank, or did he fall off that cliff that
honestly, like if you look at the Jets are going to be one of my big surprise teams. And we're going to look at, there's another NFL section in this later on. But we're going to look at award winners and division winners and all that stuff. But the Jets were pretty solid last year with like rookies, and then they added a player of Aaron Rodgers' caliber. So I think it's going to be interesting. So I agree. The Bills-Jets game I think is going to be very, very good. I am also looking at yeah, the Jets I think are going to be a pretty much a surprise team. But we're going to talk about that. So a game that I'm really looking at is the
Thursday night game.
No, because I like the Lions and I hate the Chiefs. So, I mean, that is what it is. I am really looking at that Dolphins-Chargers game.
Wow.
So, Dolphins have a ton of weapons.
Right.
Waiting to pull it all together. The Chargers have put it all together a little bit, but now everybody and their mother is disgruntled over there.
But they don't have it together then. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what I'm saying is they've got an Austin Eckler, they've got a Keenan Allen, they've got a Herbert, they've got a Bosa. Like, they've got some good players, but they always seem to just kind of screw it up at the end.
Who's that quarterback?
Justin Herbert. He's better than Tua.
I don't know, bro.
Stop it.
I don't know, bro.
Stop.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you this. I saw games last year when Tua didn't have a broke hip. And he wasn't injured. That dude murked. I don't know if Justin Herbert is really doing all that. That's all I'm saying.
I think that he's going to. I just think that he needs an opportunity to, really put. I mean, look, they paid him. They paid the man.
Right, but I don't think. You know who my sleeper team is?
No, what? Who?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Because you love Trevor Lawrence.
It's not about Trevor Lawrence.
It's about Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, if Justin Herbert stays healthy, I mean, look, they've got no backup quarterback there.
He said Tua. He's talking about Tua.
I don't think that Tua is that good. I think that he's got a Jalen Waddle. I think that he's got a Tyreek Hill. He's got some running backs.
Mostert, does he have Mostert? No, he don't have Mostert.
He's got Wilson and Mostert.
Yeah, he got dudes, man. Oh, he said Tua. Yeah, I thought he was talking about Tua. Nobody's in on Justin Herbert, except for people that's over there on the West Coast. Those people that care. I'm telling you, the guy is Trevor Lawrence, and I don't care. I know y'all know I'm a Clemson guy. That's half of it, but he had to play through he had to play with Urban Meyer, and if you have to survive Urban Meyer going to the strip club, cheating on his wife, and still trying to win some football games, then you
straight up kicking grown men.
Listen, so all I'm gonna tell you is this: that if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have a good line, they have a good set of receivers, and he's gonna be hitting some of them dudes. That's just my throw. That's my takeaway.
Listen, here's what I'll tell you. I think that them having Calvin Ridley now allowed to play
exactly
makes them better.
Because he was a top receiver before he got suspended.
I know he was. But what I will tell you is this week to me isn't going to show me much. They're playing the Colts.
That's going to show you everything.
No, it's not.
It will.
The Colts are not a good football team.
Right, but they weren't a good football team last year. So if they beat that football team, then you can kind of say, oh, well, maybe we got something here. But if they go out there and stoop to their level, because remember, Trevor Lawrence had a hard time not being on the ground last year. So this year, if he's quicker and he get the ball out quicker, because the Colts got a pretty decent defense. Their defense ain't trash. It's the offense.
Their defense is a little bit of trash. A little bit of trash.
Their defense is actually better than their offense. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, so I mean, Lions, Chiefs, Bengals, Browns, Texans, Ravens, Bucks, Vikings, Panthers, Falcons. None of these are. What's that?
No, you said Bucks and Vikings.
Bucks and Vikings, but it's not the Tom Brady Bucks. It's not.
No. Anything else?
Cardinals, Commanders. That game's going to be atrocious.
Yeah, they both stink.
Jags, Colts, Niners, Steelers. Tight. I like the Niners Steelers matchup.
I do too. But
just because of the history of both of those teams.
I will throw this out there as a resident Steelers fan. I am very interested to see what Little Hands does against like that defense.
Take my strong hands.
Because if he's a check down king again, he still got George Pickens, and George Pickens has done some stuff in the offseason that I am very interested to see.
As am I.
So maybe I'd have misjudged Little Hands. Maybe Little Hands can get it done. I'm rocking with Kenny Pickett for at least one more year just to see what he does.
Titans, Saints, I don't care.
Listen, I had to suffer through Ben for like 14 years. Like, come on,
you're talking about a Super Bowl winning quarterback who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. You cannot say the two of them are the same.
Listen, one is built like a Maytag. The other one has small hands that can't even put his hands in. It can get his hand through one of those drink machines.
Listen, you don't got to insult your quarterback. I got Jalen Hurts.
You know what? It's whatever. Let's quit talking about the NFL.
Yeah, none of the other games are like really. I think that the Rams-Seahawks game is going to show that Geno is 1 year done.
Who y'all got this week?
We got the Patriots in Foxborough.
That'd be a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a good game to go to. They'll probably blow them out, but it'll be a good game to go to.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about all this. We are bringing back the Chips and Misses weekly pickoff. So we will be recording that at some point this week. I won the playoffs last year. She won the regular season.
Why are you getting to go to the playoffs when you can't win the regular season? Like, you haven't won the regular season in like 3 years.
I won the regular season 2 years ago, but she won the playoffs.
Tila, bust his head to the white meat.
She will. She gonna kick my ass again because I have a sneaky suspicion feeling about this year for her. I feel like she's gonna like seriously run stuff this year.
This is her year. I'm just glad I'm not in a fantasy league with her. And she's picking based on colors and shapes.
Oh, well, on the wheel, there is fantasy football on here. Don't you worry, because I've had 2 drafts now with 1 left to go.
Oh, we might get it right away.
Nope, we're doing quick hits.
All right, let's do it.
Playoffs? Talking about playoffs.
Playoffs.
All right, so we're going to do a new section called Quick Hits, where basically it's just quick thoughts that come to my mind. I tweeted out a couple things on, I guess it was yesterday maybe.
Somebody take his phone.
No. So here we go. Quick hits. You weigh in on some of the things that I'm going to share out. So first off, Bryce Harper is Philadelphia.
Yes. Unequivocally. Yes.
Oh, Kenneth, no. Kenneth, no.
The only Cowboy that I ever liked is Deion Sanders, and we'll talk about him too.
We're going to talk about him to worry. Yeah, Bryce Harper. So a lot of people are going, oh, he's pandering. No, he's not. I think at first he may have been, but he's here for 10 years. He's totally bought into the culture. He is a stud of a baseball player. He's now gotten Trey Turner to come around. Go Tigers. Go Tigers. I think that Bryce Harper is
their butts kicked.
Philly.
Yes, Bryce Harper is Philly. Like, it's not, you don't even have to think about it. Like, every time I see him wearing a Joel Embiid jersey or Iverson jersey or Philly or Jalen Hurts
Philly
jersey,
fanatic cleats.
Yeah, like he is Philly. Like, if you don't think Bryce Harper is Philly, you probably not Philly. Like, that dude is everything that Philly embodies. Like, he even hurts himself trying to hit the ball so hard. Something that is actually bad for him. He is still actively doing because he wants to be great for this team. So
having a guy like Bryce Harper who played in the World Series, injured as hell, and then had one of the quickest recoveries from Tommy John I have ever seen.
It's probably steroids.
And then he goes, you know what? I'm going to learn first base because the team needs me to.
Facts. Like,
Like
why
Bryce.
would you not like Bryce Harper?
Now, flipping it around, Aaron Nola. So, Aaron Nola kills me because the way I've described him on multiple shows, including Philadelphia Phillies shows, this show, back when I did Chips and Dish and I did the trial of Aaron Nola, the best way to describe him is consistently inconsistent. So I did a show 2 weeks ago, with Adam Mack about the Phillies, and it was right after Aaron Nola had a 7-inning great start. And I said within his next 3 starts, he will not get out of the 3rd inning. Yesterday, he did not escape the 4th inning. Aaron Nola, and they've even come out and said now he's going to be your number 2 starter in the playoffs, but he wants to get paid like an ace. So what do we do about paying this man moving forward?
You don't. You let his. It's like my dad used to tell me back when I was little. He's like, give people just enough rope to hang themselves with. You know what I'm saying? Like, let him continuously be inconsistent all the way through October. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of let that thing play out. Very similar to what Dallas is doing with Dak. Just not paying him and seeing how he does, and you know what I'm saying, don't pay him. Like
and Kenneth, but so the problem is as the Phillies is like he is a quality starter sometimes out. Problem is that he wants ace money. So, and I kind of did the numbers. Like if you remove him, we do have guys that can fill in his spot, but what's the drop off going to be? You know, is he going to put together an actual playoff run this year?
Well, the thing about Aaron Nola is you said it, like you can't count on him. Like you don't know what you're going to get from game to game. And that's no way to plan for the playoffs is not having a true ace. You don't. That's the problem with Philly. That has been the issue with Phillies since I covered with Phillies is that they've never had a true ace. They haven't had a true ace since Holiday, in my opinion. A guy that can really be the closer, really be the number 1 guy, and it's unequivocally the number 1 guy. Like there's no, maybe we can try this guy. And their bullpen has been historically bad for the last couple years, at least the last 5 years. So they haven't had a great bullpen. So like
so you need a guy to be able to go 8 innings.
Exactly. They haven't had that since Holiday. And
Zach Wheeler is it most days. But again, and I've had this debate with so many people on social media, with so many people on the show, which is basically there are not aces on every team. There are 5 aces in baseball.
Yes. True aces.
Yeah. Nola's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That is kind of way. That's it, man.
But the point is that you do know what you're going to get. You're going to get 2 great starts and then a garbage start.
Right, but that's inconsistent.
Consistently inconsistent.
Because let's see there's 3 games happen, and those 2 games are going to, and that 1 bad game is in the middle. Then you're screwed. Like if you get 2 whole games back to back, then cool. But if you get,
which is what he had. He had the 7-inning game, he had another 7-inning game, he had a 4-inning game.
I mean, in reality, you can plan for that, but if you don't know, that's the issue. And then it's like you're messing up your rotation on the starters because now Wheeler's got to come in and relieve early, or he's got to throw more pitches. So
the bullpen, you all of a sudden bullpen games and
facts. And so in the playoff series where those teams know each other very well, they've been planning for you. I don't get to stretch out my bullpen longer. Now I'm stuck with these guys that have to run. If you can trade them, then maybe.
We're past the trade deadline, and he's a free agent this season.
So, I mean, you're going to get rid of him one way or another.
And with Shohei Ohtani now not being able to pitch for probably a year, Nola is probably going to be the top free agent on the market as far as starting pitchers go. So somebody is going to pay him. I just don't want to be the Phillies.
Yeah. Would you take Ohtani knowing he has a year out?
I would take Ohtani's bat, and he could DH, and he could play the outfield. I don't need him as a starter.
Right, because you have Wheeler.
Because you have Wheeler, you've got guys coming up from the minors, you've got some decent starters now, and you can go out and get guys on the cheap. They give you consistent innings.
Well, this is what I'm saying about baseball. And it's funny that you bring up Ohtani because Ohtani has been heralded for years because he can hit and he can pitch. The issue with Ohtani and him being out a year, we're going to really see how good this guy really can hit. Because you may not want to take the risk in making him a pitcher again if you don't need to. You may not need to. You know, he may be a better hitter. Like if he's only got a.
I mean, he is a dominant pitcher.
Yes, he's dominant, but he's also a very, very good hitter. Like I think his RBI is up there.
Like he usually is near the league leader in home runs and RBIs.
Come on, man. So let's just talk. Let's talk about this thing. Ohtani's one of the best baseball players in the MLB. basically bar none. So we would be lucky to get him, even if we had to give up some pennies to get him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let Nola go, even if you have to wait a year, because you got bullpen guys. Now the farm system is actually starting to work a little bit. We just have to stick with the farm system. They have to be very vigilant on the farm system, because you can get some pitchers in, but you got to definitely manage that.
That's where we struggle, though, because we got guys in the GM role who like to, sell the entire farm system for today issues.
For sure.
They have compared Ohtani to Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, unfortunately, played in a time of not a lot of, TV and not a lot of media. Ohtani has all that benefiting him. So Babe Ruth was one of the most dominant baseball players of all time. Ohtani's right up there with him. We don't have the same ability to compare sample sizes because totally different game.
We're going to talk a little bit about this when we talk about Colorado, but two-way players, like players that can do both, makes everything easier. And the more and more I stay around youth sports, there are more people teaching their kids to play both offense and defense, being both good in the offensive game and the defensive game. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But
next quick hit, Jalen Reagor.
Trash.
So Jalen Reagor is one of the absolute bums to ever play for the Philadelphia Eagles. In fact, out of all the number one receivers ever picked, or like first round receivers, he is, I think, in the bottom 3 all time of catches by this point in his career. Like, he's that garbage. So they traded him to the Vikings. The Vikings let the NFL know, oh, you know what? We're shopping him around if the offer's right. Boy, everyone knew you were cutting him. He is now caught on with the New England Patriots. Here's my question for you. If Jalen Reagor cannot make it as a Patriot, is his NFL career done?
His NFL career is done already, but
I agree with you, but
yes. And he has to deal with Philly people in the week 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's at Foxborough, but Reagor, I mean, look, he's on the practice squad, but the practice squad isn't what it used to be, where they can elevate people left and right now. I know Juju Smith-Schuster's knee is apparently, according to a bunch of people online, a ticking time bomb.
And that's for the Patriots, right?
And he plays for the Patriots.
I'm so happy about that. Not that his knees messed up, but that
a ticking time bomb, though.
I mean, think about these. I mean, these doctors, and they're shooting these guys up with all the cortisone and all the stuff to make them able to play. They've been doing it for years. Juju Smith is no different. I don't even think he's that great of a football player.
And he went to where wide receivers go to die.
Yeah. Only one that didn't die technically was Antonio Brown, and that's because he had CTE. He was too dumb to die.
Yeah. Randy Moss did okay for 1 year.
Randy Moss did pretty good. I think Randy Moss served his purpose, but think about how the guys they had. They had Brown at the end of his career too.
I think so.
Tim Brown, maybe. I think at the end.
I believe they did. Yeah.
They've had a lot of guys that wore the uniform. I think only guys that really was the little short white guy,
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker, he did okay.
Or Danny Amendola.
Yeah.
Or any of the other short white guys that they put on that team, because
if you're short and white guy,
they're true Patriots.
Because they drop it, they dump it down. They had the check down king, so he was everything short and low. That's what Tom Brady was throwing. Gronk.
I think that Jalen Reagor will play for this team. I just don't know how good he's going to be.
Well, he may play, but he's not going. I mean, it doesn't matter if he plays good or not, because the Patriots don't throw the ball, so it's not going to matter.
All right, I have to show you. This is not a shenan.
This is something to take seriously.
This is just something that is atrocious.
No Clemson Tigers, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Now, this is something that is atrocious, and I need to show you. Once I find it, hang on. I thought I had saved it. Oh, here we go. Hold on. So I need to share this tab. I need to pull this up. So Jonathan Gannon is atrocious.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Okay, so this is a
defensive meeting?
This is a team meeting. You tell me that he hasn't already lost his locker room. You ready?
Welcome back. Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut? Did you? We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted. Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast.
What team is this? Cardinals. Oh yeah.
Just understand, I'm looking for killer.
What did we just watch?
I mean, I'm ready to run through a wall. How about you?
I'm not.
How this man got hired blows my mind.
Nepotism, I think.
How this man was the pick blows my mind. The one that they were willing to go out on a ledge for. And get fined by the NFL because they were poaching him during the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't. Here you go. Here's another Gannon for you.
Gannon. Hit you with a Gannon.
Don't show up a minute late. I'm fining you because you're not putting yourself behind the team. You're putting yourself in front of the team if you do that, and it's bull because you're. Like,
he knows, like, these are grown men, right?
Yeah, but he's gonna find them. Hold on, wait, man. Didn't people give Nick Sirianni a hard time at the beginning of his first press conference? You remember that?
That's a press conference, right? He didn't deal with the media well.
No, but what I'm saying.
And he figured it out.
This I can't. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna get canceled. I'm not gonna say it. I'm done.
Say what you want about this man.
Gannon is an idiot, bro. Like he's talking to these grown men like, listen, you better be at camp on time or
Hell, I can do better, Kenneth. You probably can.
And what I'm gonna do is you're gonna get time out. If you don't you're not here on time.
You're not getting an ice cream cone.
No one's gonna pay you. Okay, we're gonna fine you.
So the Cardinals are a mess.
Yes.
Right, the Cardinals are a mess. So they named their team captains today.
The who?
The Cardinals named their team captains. Okay. Kaiser White, who just came over from Philly. But he's that dude. Like, I love Kaiser White. But first-year player. But there's your nepotism because he played on Gannon's defense. James Conner, your best running back. Buda Baker, your best player. Then you got
Baker doesn't want to be there no more.
Buda Baker doesn't want to be there anymore. DJ Humphries, Dennis Gardeck, and they named Kyler Murray a captain.
He don't want to be there neither.
He's not going to play this year.
Are they on Hard Knocks?
No. That's
They
called
should
Flight
be.
Plan.
They should be on Hard Knocks.
They were on Hard Knocks mid-season last year.
Well, they're going to be on Hard Knocks.
They are not.
They have to be.
I don't know who they're going to put on the mid-season one, but I actually want to stop talking about football, listening to Gannon talk to football players.
Gannon would be the person.
Gannon would be the person you go pick up his players in a minivan. Oh, yeah, he's definitely running carpool.
He just asked who took a bus, and I don't know. That car probably nicer than yours. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's
He want killers. That's what he said. Well, if he would have had Aaron Hernandez, that can be arranged.
Hey, whoa!
I'm just saying.
Whoa!
Why am I the bad person? You know, that's what Bill Belichick said in his first press conference. He's like, I want killers. Aaron Hernandez said, with me too.
He said, say less, fam. No, I know this was from a comment earlier, but Kenneth, no. You bad man.
What else we got?
So those are my quick hits. Those are my quick thoughts. Do you have any quick hits, quick thoughts before I spin it?
I'm ready to get to this college football because I got to talk about my man. I'm going to have to put my sunglasses on for this. Oh, it hates me. It hates me. Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're going to go real quick. We're going to go through each division. We're going to go rookie of the years. We're going to go MVPs. We're going to go Super Bowl champion because it's officially Super Bowl preview time. All right. Not Super Bowl preview time, but
NFL season preview time.
Those are words. Yep.
Okay.
NFL standings. All right,
Give
so
me the big bucks.
here we go. We're going to go through the NFL. You tell me which teams are going to make the playoffs, which teams are going to win the division from them. Okay. AFC East: Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
Bills.
You think the Bills win it? Do you think the Jets make it as a wild card?
I think they make it as a wild card. I think there's something to prove. I think they make it as a wild card.
Do you think the Dolphins make it as a wild card?
No, I don't think it as a wild card. Just because.
Right, so keep in mind, you got to pick. Was it 2 wild card teams? 3 wild card teams.
Right, but you still got to think about the NFC. The NFC North, AFC North is over there, and they're gonna have somebody. You said NFC or AFC?
I said AFC. We're starting the AFC.
Yeah, the AFC still got a bunch of teams on that end.
All right, so you got the Bills and the Jets. Everyone else flops out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, West: Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers.
You say again?
Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers.
Chiefs, easy.
Chiefs are winning it. Any of the other teams make the wild card. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers.
Chargers.
Okay. So you've got 2 wild card teams now. You got the Jets and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers.
This is a hard division.
This is a tough division.
So I don't know who wins it, to be completely frank about it. I don't really know. Like, I mean, to be real, like they all are different. You know what I'm saying? They all bring their own problem. I know who won't be winning it is my Steelers.
No. And neither will the Browns, by the way.
I don't know. The Browns might be cooking with gas, dog.
They're not.
I'm telling you.
They're not. I got the Bengals winning this division and the Ravens with a wild card. Everything else I've agreed with you on. And then you got
the Bengals winning it?
I got the Bengals winning the division and the Ravens getting a wild card.
I got 2 wild card teams coming out of AFC North.
Who?
I got the Browns, dude. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. The Browns are a good team. The Steelers are not going to make the wild card, Adam. I love you, but I don't love you that much. The Steelers stink.
All right. Side question. Is this the year that the Steelers finish sub 500?
They probably don't finish 500 because they're still better than a lot of the teams in the NFL. They just ain't good in their conference is difficult.
Their conference is different.
It's a hard game every game. Like, because remember the Bengals used to be the stepping stone in that division. Now they're the best team in the division. The Ravens got a lot better. Like, they got a lot better. Now he's got receivers to throw to. Lamar Jackson's still a problem. Defense is still stout. They're going to be a problem. And that's why I don't know if the Ravens are going to win it or the Bengals. But I know the Ravens have a better defense than the Ravens might win the division.
And the Ravens went out and got some wide receivers.
Yes. Exactly.
They're all 600 years old, but he got them.
It don't matter. They still got them young boys, too.
In the South, Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans.
Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans?
Yeah.
Say it one more time. Say the
Texans,
division.
Colts, Jaguars, Titans. And by your count, you're out of wild card picks. Yeah, Jags are winning the division.
Yeah, Jags are just going to win it.
All right, who do you have coming out of the AFC for the Super Bowl?
If I had to bet, if I was a bet man, until somebody stop them, the Chiefs. Until somebody stops them. I mean, the only other person that could challenge them possibly could be the Ravens. Just because they have so many weapons, the Ravens or the Bengals.
My struggle with the Ravens is you just know that Lamar Jackson's going to miss at least 3 games.
He may not, though.
He will.
He may not.
It's his style of play. He gets beaten up.
He may not. They saying he's been throwing the ball a lot. So, I mean, he may win MVP this year. I mean, that's how
okay.
It is a toss because you just don't know what you're going to get. It's a real toss up this year because we haven't seen this before. We haven't seen it with this many weapons.
That's true. All right, moving over to the NFC.
Okay.
Starting in the East, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Commanders.
Eagles
are winning it. Do either of the other teams make the wild card?
The Giants.
Oh.
Yep. I'm saying it. Giants will make the wild card game.
Oh.
They may not win it, but they will definitely be in the wild card game.
I don't feel good about that. Cardinals, Rams, Niners, Seahawks.
Niners and the Rams take the wild card.
Okay. Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings.
Vikings win it, and the Bears, in surprise form, take the wild card spot.
Oh my God, no.
Justin Fields, baby.
I got the Lions kicking the wild card spot, not the Bears.
I don't believe in Jared Goff, so I can't in good faith do that.
Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and Bucks. Someone has to win this division.
Panthers. I'm close. So I'm just saying Panther.
Who comes out of the NFC for the Super Bowl?
Eagles.
Okay.
Question.
Who wins the Super Bowl? Chiefs or Eagles in your mind?
Eagles. And it won't be no shenanigans to make them this time.
All right. Now, last part about this is
you said the Saints. Ooh, that's spicy. I don't even know who played on the Saints no more.
I mean, look, they already got definitely better. As they do, but they also went out and got Derek Carr.
I don't care about it. Derek Carr's trash.
Okay, so now we got to do, right, offensive defense rookie of the year, offensive defensive player of the year, MVP. And coach of the year. We don't need to do comeback player of the year because as soon as DeMar Hamlin sets 1 foot on the field, he wins.
Okay, DeMar Hamlin then. Let's just throw that one out.
Yeah, DeMar Hamlin is comeback player of the year. That conversation's done. Okay. Offensive rookie of the year.
That's freaking tough, man. Is Breece Hall's not a rookie anymore?
No, he won it last year. Oh, no, he didn't. Garrett Wilson did.
Garrett Wilson did. Same team. It might go to a quarterback. It might go to like CJ Stroud or somebody, but just because they're a quarterback, it'd be easier to give it to them. They've had a lot of success with receivers lately, but I'm gonna say like CJ Stroud, offensive rookie of the year.
Okay, I am going a very different way.
You got me nervous.
My offensive rookie of the year is going to be ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan Robinson for the Falcons.
Oh, the running back. Oh no, I don't think so.
No,
they don't have offensive lines. He's gonna struggle.
He is, but they're also going to rely on him heavily because they don't got a quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback. That's true, but they also don't have offensive line. So
yeah, Bijan Robinson is going to be my offensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year. This one is easy.
Who you got?
It's Baby Rhino.
From the Eagles?
Yeah, baby.
I'm going to take...
Jalen Carter is winning defensive rookie of the year.
It normally goes to like a DB or something, though. Jalen Carter is decent. I will give you that. That's a pretty good pick. Like if I had... But I would have to say it would have to be like a DB. DBs get more shine because they can intercept the ball. Like he would have to kill at sacks, and he's got a bunch of dudes that's going after him. So it'd probably be I would say a DB, more than likely, but I don't know any off the top of my head.
Offensive player of the year.
Offensive player of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Deebo Samuel.
Just because he plays all the positions?
They have crazy amount of like all-purpose yards. Like he's like Christian McCaffrey. Like they could win it any year if they can stay healthy.
I got Garrett Wilson.
Ooh.
Because
he's playing with Aaron Rodgers.
Because he's paired with Aaron Rodgers now. He was already dominant. Now he's really going to be dominant.
Listen, that's what I've been saying too. I've been saying, hey, like it depends like that. That's why that first game is so important for the Jets. Because if you mess around and grab Garrett Wilson and you can find Aaron Rodgers in late rounds to stack them, she might be playing with fantasy gold right there.
True. Defensive player of the year.
I'm gonna go Bosa.
Again?
Yeah, man. I like Bosa, man. That dude, because he's an animal. Because he can get hurt and miss like half the season and still win it. Like he's that dominant when he's playing. Like it's him or TJ Watt.
Again?
Yeah, man, because they're both their ends. The defensive end, like, or Quinnen Williams for maybe the Jets. Like it depends, like how, like everything depends on this first game for the Jets. Because the Jets have, somebody said TJ Watt. I'm telling you, Watt he's a shoo-in if he can stay healthy. But like him and Bosa, they get hurt every year. So I've never seen a full season with them both playing. True. And it's scary.
I mean, I'm just to mess around. I'm going to go Aiden Hutchinson for the Detroit Lions.
He sucks so much. Even when
MVP.
Stop it.
MVP. Who's MVP?
MVP?
Mm-hmm.
of the year.
Of the year.
I'm gonna surprise a lot of people with this. I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson in a comeback year, off of getting a contract, off of getting some weapons, and I think he's proven. I think he's gonna pull a Deion, man. He said, "Y'all told me that I couldn't do it, and I'm gonna show y'all."
That's gonna be fine, but he's gonna have a difficult time taking it from Jalen Hurts this year.
I do like Jalen though. Don't get me wrong. I love Jalen Hurts. You know that's my guy. But I just know they crap on Philly people.
They definitely do. But if he takes them in back-to-back Super Bowls, come on now.
Listen, I'm good with it. I just don't think they want to give it to anybody from Philly.
No.
They didn't. Did Donovan McNabb ever win it? What's up, what's up,
God, no.
See? And they went to the Super Bowl, didn't they?
Yeah, because they got T.O.
It doesn't matter. He had to throw the ball to T.O. T.O. wasn't throwing it and catching it.
I mean, he probably could have. He was very strong.
He wasn't strong.
Who's your coach of the year?
Coach of the year, I'm going to go with Nick Sirianni.
There it is.
AKA BDN, the other Nick. If he wins Coach of the Year and wins the Super Bowl, you got to get him right beside Nick Foles, right with the two Nicks. Saint Nick. That'll be like that. Will people go with Saint Nick's? They'll go pray there and all kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think if the Jaguars have the season that people think they will, Doug Peterson will win Coach of the Year.
I'm okay with that too because that's my guy, Trevor Lawrence. Let's go. Let's run it up. I think can I do a sleeper person for the year? I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be in the MVP race before the year's over. That is my. I know.
You mean like right now because everyone is?
No, I mean like when the season starts, if they have success, he will be because he hadn't had anybody to throw the ball to. Now he's got Calvin Ridley and he's got some other guys to throw the ball to. Hey Blue, let's go.
Hey Blue. So this isn't a very long Hey Blue. This is more just kind of complaining about one guy. So I haven't done a lot of games recently. But Angel Hernandez is atrocious.
Really?
And I know we know that. So there is a site on Twitter that basically ranks umpires, right? It's an umpire scorecard. Aaron Hernandez did a game on September 1st and got 89% of the calls right. Now, if you look at this little grid, he missed a lot of pitches. His called strike consistency was 80%. And what bugs me is that he is still suing Major League Baseball because they will not let him call a World Series game.
We did talk about that, Conway.
Oh, we watched it, sir. I can't bring myself to watch it again, but we watched it.
You can't unsee that. I do have to tell you something. You know what, Chip? I don't know, bud.
About what?
I don't know.
Yeah, the
I don't know.
Angel Hernandez thing is absolutely. I called him Aaron Hernandez, by the way. Thank you for that, because that's my head now. Angel Hernandez is a bad Major League umpire, and he is suing Major League Baseball under racism for not letting him be a crew chief for a World Series game. But numbers like this exist, so I think, and we talk about this all the time. Accountability has got to be a thing. Be better.
Right.
Be better.
You can't play the race card all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things you can't use it for. Like,
as a middle-class white male, I agree.
As a black man, a middle-class black man, I'm telling you, you can't do it. I mean, especially when you've been atrocious at your job. It's like you don't go to Walmart and get mad because they fired you and claim racism if you keep giving people too much change back. Proof's in the pudding, bud.
It's so bad.
You're doing your job bad on like a global level. Like, it's like you are the poster boy for why they need instant replay judges. Watching the games. You are the reason.
Crazy. You are literally the reason why they have to use instant replay now.
You're the reason why there's somebody in New York watching games at the same time they're paying you to watch the game to make sure you don't F it up.
And again, I told you this, that it's 4 seconds. The average Major League Baseball play is 4 seconds.
Right.
But I watched a lot of baseball these past couple weeks, and I can tell you that you still have guys calling things way too fast, and you still have guys messing up those calls and taking too long, and so they got to clean it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got to be done. But what can you do?
Not too much. 2 topics, and then we'll hit some shenanigans and call it out.
All right, call it out. Give me a good out before the end of the.
All right, fantasy football.
All right,
JD, have you done any drafts yet?
I have, and I've been selling picks. So yes.
Okay, so tell me, who is your fantasy sleeper this year?
We talked about him already. Running back from Atlanta, Bijan
Robinson.
Bijan Robinson. He will get a lot of touches. He's going to probably see 80 to 90% of the offense, just because of the lack thereof a passing game. Another guy that I will say will probably be a sleeper this year. He's not really a sleeper. People know about him, but T. Higgins.
I pick up T. Higgins every chance I can.
Yeah, and T is always kind of like that utility guy. You can put him in the flex. He can also be your number one receiver, depending on, because they're so throw heavy with the Bengals. They're so throw happy, and with the workload they give Jamar Chase, he always ends up having some type of nagging injury, so he ends up being out at least a couple games, and he becomes that team's number one receiver. So for those of you guys who are looking to pick up maybe a strong wide receiver 2 or a strong flex player, pick up T. Higgins, Clemson guy, of course, but definitely a strong possibility with that running gun offense with the Cincinnati Bengals.
So I've done 2 drafts so far this year. My one draft, I feel like I did very well in. But one of my sleepers, at least early on, is going to be Williams from now the Titans. Can't remember his freaking first name right now. He used to be on the Titan, on the Lions last year. Jameson Williams.
Oh, Jameson Williams.
Yeah. Because Alvin Kamara is out for the first couple games, Williams is going to put on a show.
Will he though?
I think for the first couple games.
I do like it. I just don't know if that's somebody you pick up like right away just because of...
No. In my other draft, I got Jonathan Taylor in like the 6th round.
Jonathan Taylor is a value pick to hold on to because he's got to wait 4 weeks, but he may not actually end up doing anything.
Yep. My sleeper pick, and he'll be around later on, is Allen Lazard from the Jets.
I do, because he has a connection with Aaron Rodgers.
Because he has an Aaron Rodgers connection.
Very similar to the Randall Cobb connection that he used to have. I will say this, and this is a...
Cobb is a Jet too.
Huh? Yeah,
Cobb is a Jet too.
So I want to throw this out there for anyone who's like, new to fantasy football. You're not really sure. We're going to get to this comment right here kind of way. What I've realized in the last couple of years with playing fantasy is stacking. Stacking is very important if you don't have a lot of big name players. If you can get like a high name quarterback and you can get one of their value receivers to stack, you can always do pretty good.
Yep.
So stacking your picks, stacking your either wide receiver or a running back with a quarterback or a running back and a tight end, depending on what it's like. If you can get Travis Kelce and Panchero, then go ahead and do it. I think I said Panchero, that's his name. If you can like stack those type of guys that, they don't cost you a whole lot to get, but at the same time, they got big value in the long run because of the way they play offense, then, hey, man, you might win. So those are just my tips, small little things you can do for fantasy football.
Cool. We're going to shenan, and then we'll do the final topic, which is the one you've waited for since the beginning. Oh, yeah, my fault.
Did anyone of you watch the BS High documentary on Bishop Sycamore team?
I still have not, but I'm gonna.
I've heard so many things. Maybe we'll talk about it next show. I'll let you watch it. We'll talk about it, but don't ever forget about this kind of way. I definitely want to cover this. This was very, very disturbing. It's a lot of like I put BS on this stuff, of BS that was going down over there.
All right, some shenanigans, and then JD, you get to go off on college football.
Let's do it.
All right, so shenanigan number 1. Giannis has come out and said, I don't want to be 20 years on the same team and not win another championship. And here he is superimposed in Knicks, Lakers, and Golden State outfits.
Well, he didn't make that graphic. Somebody else did.
I know that part.
That's why I don't like this league.
Yep.
I'm starting to be an old grumpy old man that fell in love with the NBA when Jordan played for the Bulls and only the Bulls until he played for the Wizards after he retired.
We don't talk about those years.
Listen, and I'm at that time where Magic Johnson only played for the Lakers and Kobe only played for the Lakers and Kareem only played for like the Milwaukee Bucks and the Lakers. But at the same time, like I like the consistency of guys staying in a place because it builds that continuity with the city. Like Joel Embiid, I know he needs to leave, but
right.
But like as a fan, like I want to keep him to myself. You know what I'm saying?
I think the thing for me, especially when it comes to Giannis, is he is one of the most dominant players in the game right now. There's no question. So he can really write his own ticket. In fact, the Bucks have gone out and got all three Antetokounmpos on the team as an incentive to keep him. Like, hey, come play with your brothers, literal brothers. But this team is not a big market team. They are not going to be competitive, and it's going to be him whittling his career away. So I get that he wants to be 20 years on the same team, but he's going to want to compete for a championship because that's where you get mentioned with the greatest players of all time.
He don't want to be on the team for 20 years. So if he can't compete for a championship. And unfortunately, with the market that they're in and being in the East, he always has a chance. My wife is in there yelling at my son. It's crazy.
It's fine. I got dogs barking, so.
The NBA is a lot. NBA is different. You always got to deal with something with these guys moving around.
It's a money grab right now. That's what it is.
It is a money grab. It's a money grab, and there's a lot of people playing for the wrong reasons and trying to do stuff. So that's just what it is.
So that's shenan number one. Shenan number two. Kyler Murray could be owed $92 million by the Cardinals if he doesn't pass a physical before March of next year.
He could be owed that?
Yep.
Wow, because they played him when he was hurt or something?
Because they have guaranteed monies.
Sheesh.
And the way they wrote the contract is to basically be an opt-out for the remaining part of the year. So they would write a check for $92 million to not play. Kyler Murray, I can't wait for the documentary on this guy.
Hamburglar.
Because he is stealing money.
And
he's been named a captain, and he's not going to play this year.
I need people to hear me, and I need you to. I'm gonna look into the cameras. I need people to hear me.
Oh, hold on. Do you need the captain Zoom?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I just want people to hear what I'm saying.
Where'd you go though? Hold up. I don't want to see me. Here you go. Do you think, Chicken Wing?
First off, stop giving the Heisman to people who don't possess any of the tools that we need. We just keep throwing anybody that played for Lincoln Riley a Heisman Award. That doesn't matter. Just because you can sling that joint all over the place, that doesn't mean they knew when these guys get to the NFL, it's like they disappear. Baker Mayfield, this Joker, but same thing with Caleb Williams, more than likely. Listen, stop giving these guys freaking Heisman Awards and expecting that stuff to translate to the NFL. It's not going to translate. We've seen it so many times. Like, let's just stop doing it. And on top of it, the dude's a bum. Like, he don't want to play there. He never wanted to play there. They're selling the farm. You should have sold him too. But nobody wants a little short, little quarterback that can't see over the offensive line. Hence, CJ Stroud. I mean, not CJ Stroud. What's the little guy that said Carolina? Bryce Young. These little guys are not going to do anything. It's that league around the field, throwing these bombs. That's not going to happen anymore. These guys are going to get grabbed because these defensive linemen are faster now. They can catch you, and they will eat your lunch.
And I think the thing that you said about the Heisman Trophy, I don't think it should go to a quarterback every year. I just don't. I think that you have dominant football players, and they need to be rewarded as such in college football. I think, like the fact that Tim Tebow is a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, yeah, he won a bunch of games, but he was by no way the best quarterback.
Nah, he's the best winner. He's the best leader.
Again, I get that, but it did not translate.
He was. I don't know. Like I have an issue with that too. I think Tim Tebow got a raw deal.
I do too.
I think Tim Tebow was a way better, because the freaking Denver Broncos beat my Steelers that year because of Tim Tebow. It wasn't because of nobody else. It was because of Tim Tebow.
No, he willed them to win.
He willed them to win. So I think we get so caught up in, can a guy throw with the right type of mechanics and all that? Like, that doesn't matter. If this guy can throw with the right mechanics, but he can't win a game, or he lost the locker room, he's not a better quarterback than Tim Tebow or Jalen Hurts or any of these guys who are unconventional, or Lamar Jackson, unconventional quarterbacks that use their legs first. Like, I'm past that. I think the NFL needs to change. I think people's perception of the quarterback position needs to change. I hope it happens sooner than later.
And I think the more times that you have seasons where Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richardson are your top 3 quarterbacks, Matt Corral already on a different team.
Yep.
Malik Willis going to be on a different team.
Trash injuries.
Like, these are guys that were drafted very, very high. Trey Lance, different team.
But they're stuck in the mud too. Like, the Anthony Richardson kid can move. The kid's a brick crap house. Dude can move. Like, I'm not for nothing. Like, some of these guys can really move, and we're getting away from guys who have to be stuck in that pocket, and they got to move the pocket, or they got to move offensive line. It's going to make it a lot easier on offensive linemen as well, because they're not blocking every play, if they can roll them out. So that's just my thoughts.
Gilbert Arenas with shots fired over the weekend.
Okay.
You've had some of the greatest players on your team, and you have won championship. Are you a good coach? About Doc Rivers.
You know how I feel about Doc.
That's all I want to say. That wasn't really a shenan, but the shenan was me saying Gilbert Arenas with shots fired.
Can I speak on this too? I just want
you
to
may,
say
sir.
one statement. Gilbert Arenas is not wrong.
No.
Not only is he not wrong, but I will second his, and I will raise him if you wouldn't be saying that to him if he wasn't Popovich. Just Doc Rivers has been historically bad at making any type of, addressing players that are out of control, losing his locker room, losing his composure. Doc is not all right.
He's all right. Yes, he's all right.
No,
he's not good though.
Stop. We did more with Brett Brown than we did with Doc Rivers, and that
do be facts.
So at the same time, like, what makes you won a championship with a team that didn't need a coach? Like, the Celtics did not need a coach. They had Kevin Garnett. They had Rajon Rondo. They had Paul Pierce. They had little baby Glenn, or whatever his name was, Glenn Baby Davis. You had a team, and KG was the cornerstone of that team, who really, really wanted a championship, really, really bad. You had a bunch of guys who were unproven. They went and took that championship. Ray Allen wanted the championship. You didn't have to do nothing. There was no motivation needed. The thing that a coach needs to do is motivate his team. You don't have to do that with that team. And when you had to, you couldn't win it. So much so that you had Kawhi all those years, and this joker went to somewhere else and won a championship with, like, Toronto.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's a good broadcaster. I will give him that.
Because he knows the game, but he can't motivate players.
No, and that's why I always put that motivation piece out there.
The gap between Steph and Magic is, in my opinion, further than the gap between Kobe and Jordan, Richard Jefferson.
The gap between Steph and Magic is further.
Meaning, the gap, like, Magic is so much better than Steph Curry.
I mean,
and
what emulated?
Kobe and Jordan are interchangeable.
The fact that he said that just shows you how much Michael and Kobe even walked alike. So
yeah.
You have, he was emulating this guy. Steph is not emulating Magic. So there's a huge gap. They're not the same. I never really seen Magic Johnson shoot a 3-pointer for real. All I ever seen Steph Curry do is shoot 3. So they're not the same guy.
No.
So to even have that comparison is actually pretty asinine, to be real.
Right. It's Richard Jefferson.
Yeah. And I don't trust Richard Jefferson.
And the final stand. Peyton Manning stored every play he ever ran in his forehead during his career in the NFL.
Yeah, it makes sense. Either that or he's on steroids, but I didn't want to bring that up.
I mean, just look at the head growth.
I know. I feel like that's steroids, because they say when you take steroids, your forehead gets bigger. Maybe he was on some type of PED. We didn't know about it.
I don't know, but Megamind here is killing me. He looks like a thumb.
Oh my God. Peyton Manning. His hairline went back too.
I'm going to draw eyes on my thumb.
Oh my gosh, you're right. He does like your thumb. Let me see what my camera is. He does. His head is the same shape. And I have a weird thumb. I have a club thumb.
Thanks for joining us, Peyton Manning.
Oh, Peyton Manning coming in. We have a live shot of Peyton Manning. Live shot.
All right. I don't need to spin the wheel, but you got to put your shades on, because we had week 1 of college football just happened. We're on the last topic. Go ahead.
All right. First off, we need to talk about my boy Prime. Prime legitimately put out some of the. Do you have the video queued up?
I can.
Can you click? You can do that for.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Got to figure out which one I saved. Then there it is. So you want to watch the video first?
You won't have context if.
All right. Share this tab instead.
It's prime time Deion Sanders, baby. Do you believe?
I'm about to. Here you go.
We're going to finally see, for all the hoopla and all of the hype going into the offseason with Deion Sanders in Colorado, it does not mask the fact that they don't have any players on that roster. And you thought UMass was the worst roster in college football? It may be Colorado's. Now, I say that. Do they have a quarterback? Yes. Do they have two starting corners that could be NFL guys and one of them plays both ways? Yes. They are so devoid of talent up front on both sides of the ball. I don't know how they're going to keep their quarterback upright.
Now you guys got some context. Deion Sanders put out a product that was so good that not only did I take that bet as a 21-point underdog, I took them straight out. I told y'all they was coming. You can't turn over a 73-man roster, 84-man roster, bring a brand new team in there and expect that same team to be the team that shows up the first game on Saturday. This team is very, very good. They are very good. They are disciplined. 6 penalties. They are fast as lightning. They have skill position guys. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. They had a guy that threw for 510 yards passing that played in the HBCU last year, by the way. Then he had 4 receivers that had over 100 yards catching with no turnovers. Played a damn near perfect game for a quarterback, and he played at HBCU last year. You said that this team was a bad team, a bad roster. Yes, their offensive line looked like they held up just fine to me. Defensive line as well. Against a TCU team that literally played the national championship last year. And had an explosive offense. Well, guess who's a little bit more explosive? Colorado. And on top of that, they got a guy that goes both ways. And I don't know if he's a better receiver or a DB. I don't know. He's the best player on both sides of the ball, to be completely honest. So for everybody that's sitting here talking about, oh, it's one game, that was the runner-up of the national championship the year prior. Playing at their place, who coming off of a loss. They wanted to win that game very, very badly. Deion is the new generation of coaches, which aligns very well with the Dabos, the Shane Beamers, that whole like, hey, we're going to find a moniker and we're going to stick to it. Deion is the future of college football, and he may not be in college football very much longer just because of the turnover he's had.
So you told me to turn on the game. I turned it on. I mean, it was a very clear, dominating performance. Yeah, I mean, it got close and touchy at some points, but like you said, TCU was coming off of a national championship appearance. I think that Deion might be one of those guys that should stay in college football. I don't know how long he's going to stay at Colorado.
Okay.
But I think he's one of those guys that should stay in college football. I think a lot of his stuff comes emotionally, and I don't know how much professional guys that translates with.
But he's like also a pro.
True. Which is where he gets his street cred when it comes to, listen, this is the way we're going to do things, and it's going to work, and I know because this is the way that I did it. I think that once you start getting to the pros, you start dealing with more egos, and I don't know if like that room can handle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, I think if he ends up in like as the Cowboys head coach, that's a different story, but he's not ready yet. He's got to do a couple years. I was very impressed. And he's keeping all his receipts.
Yes.
Every single one of his receipts.
Yeah, he's definitely holding true. And that's just a part of who he is. Like, he's always going to be a hard worker. He's always going to be a guy that is going to be very flamboyant and very, very, very out with it because he knows the work that he put in. And right. He's almost like a LeVar Ball, but for coaching. He's going to tell you what he's going to do to you.
But he's backing it up. Yes. That's the difference.
And that's the same thing with LeVar Ball. Like, I know people hate the comparison, but it's a black man talking about his kids, talking about his pride and joy. America doesn't want it. Like the bigger media does not want that. They want you to be humble and all that. Like, listen, his kids don't say a word. Just like Lonzo Ball and Jello and Melo, they don't say a word. They just play. But what I'm saying is,
did you just call LiAngelo Jello?
That's what they call him, Jello Ball.
I had not heard that, but that's outstanding.
So with Deion, he's taking a team of guys he's coached, and they were in Little League. Like his running back was a running back for him when he was in Little League. Shiloh and Shadair, his daughters at the school with him as well at Colorado. It's a family affair. And I think when you do stuff like that, you work as a family, you build something as a family, there's more of an attachment to it. The way that I can't think of his name right at the top, the DB guy, when he came over, is it Young? No. What's a quarterback DB name? I can't think of his name right at the top. The one that put on the show. I can't think of his name. Well, whatever his name is. The way Deion interacts with his players lets you know that he loves those guys. And when you have love for a team will run through a wall for you. You be hard pressed right now in the NCAA to find a better coach with a better persona and a better relationship with his players, because he had to basically turn over his entire roster of guys.
You had a team that was 1-11 and at the bottom of every statistical category put on a completely different show against a nationally ranked team. Now, speaking of nationally ranked, LSU is garbage.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Do it.
Go Tigers. I'm afraid so. The Bayou Bengals stunk it up last night. And kudos to FSU, because it wasn't like a rundown until the very end.
No.
It was
maybe through the first half.
First half was a very good game. It was back and forth, you saw, but I think once Travis kind of figured it out, it was because there were some guys who dropped some balls too. They would have put up way more points than that. So shout out to Florida State. They do need to get rid of Kelly. Kelly's trash. But I will say this, as a Clemson Tiger fan, it is good for us in the ACC if Florida State continues to win, because some of those games toward the end of the year, they don't matter. UNC taking care of business against the SEC and the South Carolina as well. Definitely watching that game, happy with the outcome, because North Carolina is also in the ACC, especially when they're talking about expanding with bringing in Stanford and Cal. It makes our argument better to say the ACC also has good football teams. We took out an SEC team and two SEC teams last night or over the weekend. So that was very good for us. Big 12, they're going to be moving because of Colorado coming into leaving the Big 12, because Colorado's coming into the Big 12. So that's also good for them as well. So with the new alignment, teams moving, coaching changes happening, there's something to be excited about. And tonight, Clemson takes on Duke tonight. And if Clemson does not have their P's and Q's together, they could be looking at an upset. I don't want them to be upset. I'm hoping they don't get upset. But there's a lot of question marks at whether Clay Kublik is the guy, because Viziano is behind him right now. So if anybody's been keeping up with that whole quarterback battle, Cade won the job. But you know how Dabo is. Dabo give you like 2 or 3 games to figure it out. And if not, they're going to put that young boy in and send you on your way. So I hope not.
I got one last question for you, because we talked about both of these teams.
Okay.
Who is more likely, after suffering their week 0, week 1 loss, whatever it is, to still have an opportunity to play in the college football playoff? TCU or LSU?
LSU, because they play in the SEC and they have more games to make it up. TCU won't see any more real competition again. Not like that. Maybe not on that level, because I think Alabama's going to take care of business against Texas. So that'll knock Texas down. So that will be their big kind of their crown jewel to come out of the Big 12. It won't be TCU. TCU will have a fighting chance to probably get in the conference championship game to probably make a splash. But that one loss TCU to Colorado may not look as good depending on how everything shakes out for Colorado. I do know that FSU is going to be at the top of they're going to be at the top of the rankings after this goes down, and They got a big showdown with Clemson in the middle of the year. So depending on how that goes, if they can knock off Clemson, that loss against FSU looks better because they've taken care of some more top 25 teams. So I don't know. It really just depends. It depends on how the cookie crumbles. But if I had to guess it right now, I think LSU because they're a bigger name in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely had a bad loss, but they had a bad loss against a ranked team. TCU was exposed by a team that we don't know what they are yet.
Right.
Colorado could still very easily finish 1-11. I don't think they will.
Nah, they'll probably. The thing with Colorado is Colorado is playing with house money, and they got a showdown with USC in 3 weeks. And I think USC is shaking in their boots
After what they just put on? Yeah, absolutely.
I think if you're a USC or if you're a Trojan fan, you need to be praying on your lucky stars that this guy runs out of gas 3 games in, because if he don't, and Deion shows up with that same fire against Oregon or USC, they could be putting them in the
Oregon just put on a show. I mean, they didn't play nobody, but 81 points.
Yeah, but you got to think about now in 2 weeks' time, they got to play Colorado too. So
True.
Listen, everything will be revealed to us in the next couple weeks. But I will tell you that if I had to put my money on anybody over there that's playing that Pac-12, it would probably be Colorado right now.
Yeah, I mean,
they will make a bowl though. Colorado.
They will definitely make a bowl. All right. Where can we find you? Talk about what you got going on.
And I'm taking a week off, so I'm going to be done. I got a bunch of big games. If you're in the high school area of Greenville, South Carolina, Greer is taking on Burns this week. I'll be there covering that game, taking pictures, doing all my athletic director / stuff this week. Big game, big rivalry game, and that's going to be my focus for the rest of the week. Basketball season officially started in South Carolina, so we are getting ready to do our September and getting fall leagues going and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that stuff. We got a really good team this year, so I'm excited about that as well. But other than that, it's just chilling. What about you?
Cool. At some point this week, I got to lock down a time, but me and the wife will continue with now season 3 of the weekly pickoff, where she normally kicks my ass, where we predict our NFL games. So we're going to do that. Tomorrow night, the reason why we actually did this today, because tomorrow night I'm going to be on Rio Robinson's. He's a Washington Commanders podcaster. NFC East roundtable, where I'm just going to smack talk on Cowboys fans and Commanders fans and Giants fans about how they're all fighting for second place. So I'll be doing that tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, we have our Eagles Wednesday live report, where I'm guessing we're going to do our season predictions, because the season starts this weekend. Thank God.
And to Kenneth's question, LaDainian Martin is playing. He's the second ranked high school running back in South Carolina. I think he might actually be the first one, but he's been out for 2 weeks with like a strained MCL. So he'll be back in action. They also have another running back that went for 4 touchdowns the other Friday. So they got a 2-headed monster over there if they use them right. So I'm not saying we will beat Burns. I don't want to start that rumor, but I was saying that we got a chance. Burns lost to Chapman a couple weeks ago. So anything is possible. So
there you go. So we should be back to our normally scheduled time next Tuesday. But I'm Chip. That's Trip. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day, and peace out. Okay.